Okay, welcome back to Morning Tea. And yes, today I actually have some of our delicious tea here. I am Young Darius at Ohana Lounge. Today, I was very reluctant to even go here, but we're going to talk a little bit about this Epstein file situation and Trump and all this stuff. But the thing I want to talk about is just basically like what I've realized, and a disclaimer, I am a Democrat, but what I realize is the Democrats are not street smart. And that's why they're having such a hard time dealing with and understanding Trump. I have been up to date on Trump for many years, way before he got into politics. And, if you look at all of the history in the book, The Art of the Deal, and the things he was exposed to when he was young, and the things that he got from his dad out in Queens, who was a slumlord, and how his dad and his dad's people would address the people who lived at some of their properties as animals and all this type of stuff. Not to say, oh, I feel bad for the guy, etc., etc. But you do need to understand, this is a guy that came up in the 80s in restoring downtown New York. And the 80s was a different time, it was a different place. I mean, you look at Miami, all the buildings were directly drug money buildings. Cocaine built Miami, so the rules were a little bit different then. But you fast forward to now, you got all these years of being crooked and being New York gangster style, being from Ann Arbor, Detroit, New York myself. I've seen it all, blah, blah, blah. But when I say that statement, like, perfect example is with these Epstein files. Now, Trump was crapping in his pants last week about not letting these files get out. I don't know if he was trying to prevent stuff from himself being on there, or I personally think is probably somebody close to him. Who knows? But we all, thankfully, it seems the Republicans and Democrats now agree that the victims have the right for this to be done. But why I say Democrats are not street smarts is because they always are giving this benefit of a doubt, right? They don't think that he would go to certain lengths, which he will and has. One of the things they're like, so what? Why did he switch from having meetings in the Situation Room about this to go ahead, release it? And you watch CNN and they're all saying, well, the reason why he did that is he just wanted to get ahead of it, so that when everybody votes, when all the Republicans vote for this, that he's not the only one. And that could be somewhat of a factor. But I'm like, he's the president of the United States, has access to everything. Who else has access? The other people who are in his pocket, the AG, all these other different people. What's to stop them to be like, aren't the files next door? Let's just get rid of any names that we don't want in it. Because he was too gung-ho come Monday. I mean, there's still some hesitation, blah, blah, blah. But I've had thought that, and then recently with TMZ reporting about Epstein's brother literally saying that same thing, that Trump has scrubbed, that's the verbiage he used, scrubbed all the Republican names out of the files. So then I thought about some of Trump's rhetoric and some of the things that he was saying about how he tried to make it a political thing. This is not a political situation. This is a group of significant number of victims that should get somewhat of justice in this situation. So, but he was saying like, Epstein was rocking with Democrats. He was doing this, blah blah blah. So then when Epstein's brother came out with this statement, I was like, wow, if that is a true thing. And then, so what's your thoughts? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican that agrees that Democrats need to be a little bit more street smart and not necessarily just think the best of people. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.